A very good evening to you, dear viewers. Hello and welcome to a new edition of Business Insider. Egypt and the United Arab Emirates have struck a landmark investment partnership to develop Ras Al Hikma, also known as Al Hikma Peninsula. The deal will inject $35 billion into the Egyptian economy in a form of direct investments in the upcoming 2 months or so, with this one of the biggest deals of its kind, as described by Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, who, addressing the foreign currency or the hard currency crunch, Madbouli said, quote, "This investment would contribute to resolving it," unquote. The UAE Sovereign Wealth Fund, ADQ, will lead the investment consortium with $24 billion earmarked for Ras Al Hikma, located west of the North Mediterranean beautiful city of Alexandria. There are also $11 billion that were deposits here by the UAE that will be used into that project, for a total of $35 billion in direct investment, and this should transform the Mediterranean coastal region into a big resort city. There will be an airport there and much, much more. And to discuss this huge deal with us here now in the studio is engineer Amany Shenawy, and she is a chemical engineer, and she is also a member of civil society and international service organization, and also a graduate of the Strategic Studies and National Security Training course. A very good evening to you, Engineer Amany, and thank you for joining us.
Good evening, thank you.
Please allow us, Engineer Amany, and dear viewers, first to watch a report about this landmark deal, and then come back and start our discussion. Please stay with us.
Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli said the development project of Ras Al Hikma city on the north coast is the biggest foreign direct investment deal in Egypt's history. In a press conference held at the new administrative capital, the Prime Minister added that the project comes within the framework of Egypt's 2052 Urban Development Plan. Madbouli stated that the 2052 Urban Development Plan includes developing the cities of El Alamein, Ras Al Hikma, Inagila, Sidi Barrani, Jarjoub, Matruh, and Saloum to accommodate millions of people and provide millions of job opportunities for Egyptian youth. The Prime Minister explained that the project is implemented as per the same mechanism pursued by the new urban communities authorities with all real estate developers and the private sector. He noted that the project carried out in partnership with the UAE is aimed at developing Ras Al Hikma city, which extends on an area of 170 million square meters. The Prime Minister went on to say that the Abu Dhabi Development Holding Company will set up Ras Al Hikma Company as a joint stock company in which Egypt will be a partner. Madbouli said the project will encompass residential districts, prestigious international hotels, tourist resorts, expensive entertainment venues and service facilities, such as hospitals, schools, and universities. He added that it will also include administrative and service buildings, a free economic zone for the information technology industries, and logistics hubs in a central business district that would house global companies. Prime Minister Madbouli also said that the project would comprise as well as a large marina for tourist yachts and ships. He noted that it expected that the new city to attract 8 million tourists to Egypt upon completion. The Prime Minister pointed out that the state will get 35% of the project's profits. He said the UAE side would invest nearly $150 billion throughout all phases of the project, adding that $35 billion would be injected into the national economy within the next 2 months, which is the largest sum in foreign direct investment in the history of the country. He stated that this large sum would contribute to solving the economic crisis facing the country and to boosting the business chances of Egyptian real estate companies, logistics companies, and factories that would be tasked with providing raw materials and construction materials for this big project. Madbouli stressed that the state is committed to compensating in cash and in kind residents of Matruh living on the land allocated for Ras Al Hikma project. The Prime Minister noted that new residential complexes along the coast would be established to relocate the citizens. Madbouli also said that this way the residents would continue to live in the same area they have been living in, adding they would also benefit from the developmental process in the area. The Prime Minister further told reporters that Egypt is completely open to foreign direct investments and welcomes ventures that would help achieve integrated developmental on its lands, create jobs for youth, and give the Egyptian economy a shot in the arm. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister also said that the success of the global economies is judged by their ability to lure foreign direct investment through asset purchases.
Welcome back. Thank you very much, Abir Hussein and Rasha Abdel Hamid, for this report. It is to note that this, of course, also huge deal shall bring some 150 billion US dollars worth of investments that Egypt will have 35% of the profits in this project that should create lots and lots of jobs and boost many sectors of the economy in that area. Back here with engineer Amany Shenawy, the chemical engineer and the member of the civil society and international service organization. A very big deal at a very critical time for the Egyptian economy. So how did you see the deal? How did you receive the news?
I received that it's a great achievement at that time. The whole world is facing difficulties. A big achievement that investors are investing in our country, which is a very good place to invest in, very safe and very, we have a lot of potentials in the country. So it's a win-win situation to come and invest in Egypt.
Indeed. And this is not a small area. It is around 170 million square kilometers. That's almost 13 by 13 kilometers almost. So what about the area itself? I mean, the North Sea, the Mediterranean Sea, the North Coast in Egypt, you know, it's how special is it? I mean that area.
Egypt has very long coasts, a lot of kilometers, 3,500 kilometers of coast all over Egypt, the Mediterranean, the Red Sea, the Suez Gulf, and all the water that surrounds Egypt. The Mediterranean, the coastal the line on the Mediterranean is 1,050 kilometers, which is a very big coast on the Mediterranean, the beautiful Mediterranean. This part of our coast is very special. That it's a peninsula, and the sand there is it's a white sand, and the water is crystal water. So it's a very good place to make a new city. At the time, we're making new cities all over Egypt.
Indeed, indeed. I mean, you just reminded me of the Marsa Matruh coast and the famous Layla Murad song. I mean, when you were talking about the beautiful water, the crystal clear water, and the white sand, a beautiful area, of course, all of the North Coast. Yes. And so this is just about you know, 13 kilometers out of the 1,000 kilometers that we have there. We all know, of course, Egypt's, we know it by heart. I mean, the area is 1 million square kilometers, so it's almost 1,000 by 1,000. What about the new cities? So this is a continuation of Egypt's a trend of building new communities, building new cities, attracting, you know, people to build new communities and create jobs and expand investment opportunities, right?
Yes. A long time we used to say, why are we Egyptians are living in a very condensed part of Egypt and leaving all this land without using it? So lately our government has a plan of constructing new cities all over Egypt. I see that people are distributed now in a better way, and still will be distributed in a more better way. As for the North Coast, it's considered the longest coast on the Mediterranean that has buildings directly on the seaside, and you can watch the buildings and the compounds while you are driving. It's on your right.
Right.
So it's the longest, so it's very precious. It's a very precious coast, and it's going to attract many
On your
Egyptians.
right, of course, if you are moving towards Libya. I mean, you're coming from Cairo and moving towards Saloum.
Yeah,
But it would be on your left if you were,
if you were returning back,
yeah.
which I always love to go.
Okay.
To the
Everybody
north.
does.
Yeah,
we all do.
It's getting, we're developing the North Coast, and of course,
Amany is there.
Yes,
Yeah.
in the near future we'll be living there, because it's a very nice place to live in, very pure weather, very good weather. We can.
So it's going to be residential, not just, you know, for touristic purposes, right? I mean, this is something that's going to be for people to reside in year long. I mean, to live in.
I believe that in the near future we're going to do that. We can, many people, we are a populated country, so many people can move to the North Coast, and especially that the new cities are having new job opportunities. So it will be attracting people. So the problem of condensed population in the Delta and around in Alexandria and Cairo mainly, and in
Giza.
Upper Egypt and Giza, yes, we will be distributed in a good way and productive way.
Very well, and not just, you know, next to the narrow Nile River waters and that area, the Delta, as you mentioned, as we always did. So this is something new. This is something big. This is something that will have a lot of repercussions. Tell me, Engineer Amany, what do you think of the deal? And when I said it was at a critical time, because everybody knows about the challenges that the Egyptian economy had been facing, the foreign currency or the hard currency problems, the inflation, and you name it, you know. So unaffected, of course, Egypt being affected by all of the events around it. So how critical, how important is that deal? What are the benefits of this deal, and what about the timing?
In this time, the deal has direct results on the economy in Egypt. So we saw from day one that the black market of the foreign currency is collapsing. And this is very good for the economy. We can see that after a while our debts will be better managed and better, and we won't have debts, God's willing, inshallah, soon. We can see more job opportunities. We can see, of course, when we have a better economy, we're going to have better health, better education, and better everything in the sides of life. We can see also that the investors, other investors, will be encouraged to come and invest in Egypt, which is a very good opportunity because we have a lot of potentials. We have people. We have the workforce, we have the land, the sea, the Nile, we have all resources, especially if the new cities are being constructed as the new cities that should be like the 5-generation cities, taking care of all aspects that we should take care of while building new cities.
Indeed. And since you mentioned that, I would just like to mention a great event that happened today. And of course, the differently abled gathering that was attended by His Excellency the President himself, and where he sat, with beautiful youth and children who own special abilities, and where the President decided to immediately allocate for them, a huge amount of money for their beautiful cause. And he's even said that, he personally waits for this day year round. So talk to us about that beautiful gathering this morning.
I liked very much the word that President Sisi said, that your day makes us happy all over the year. So those kids, our kids, the differently able, they have a lot of potential, and they have been helped by President Sisi, because this is the 5th time that we celebrate their day, starting the year 2018. So a lot of them, their lives have changed, and I can remember the master of ceremony, Amira, who came and told the president today that she was going to drop school, but when he encouraged them, she's now a student studying political science and economy, which is a very good progress in her life. Lots of our differently able kids are athletes. Now we have athletes who travel to Paris to
for the Paralympics, yes.
Yes, for the Paralympics. We have a lot of them who are achieving well in life.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I personally had the honor, really, and privilege of accompanying the 2000 Egyptian Paralympic team in Sydney, Australia. And I remember those days very well. I mean, they are really special. I mean, they are people with special abilities, as we call them. They are differently abled. I mean, and in many, many areas of life, they are much, much more able than most of us. And indeed, many of them were champions. Many of them had medals, gold, silver, bronze. And even those who didn't achieve medals, what they are doing for themselves is something to be respected and something to be admired, and gives inspiration, I guess, to everybody. And the state now, I guess, more than any other time, Engineer Amany, is very caring for the just cause of the differently abled.
This is true. Our state is caring for the differently able people. We have service integrated cards that they can use that help them a lot in education, in health. It gives them discounts. They are exempted from duty
service.
fees.
Yes.
Service.
Right.
they are exempted from taxes. They can go to museums without paying money, exempted from the fees. So they are helped by all means in order to...
And they deserve that help, of course.
Of course, for the transportation too, and for the accessibility of the buildings. We're having buildings accessible for special needs now. So we're trying to have everything that helps them.
Right. Back to Ras Al Hikmah. I said that this is probably going to help many sectors of the economy in that area, in the North Coast. Can you tell us about some of the sectors? I mean, immediately, real estate, construction, tourism. I mean, some things would immediately pop up to our minds. What else? What should we expect for these sectors? Especially the private sector will be heavily involved. And I guess that this is proof that Egypt is serious when it says that it will give, and it is giving the private sector a bigger role. So tell us about these points, please.
From the direct results we'll achieve from Ras Al Hikmah project is that everything related to tourism will increase. Tourism itself is going to increase in this beautiful city. All the products that are serving the tourism are going to increase. Job opportunities are going to increase in the area, and people who will immigrate from their cities and go live in Ras Al Hikmah will be working there and working all over the North Coast, where everything is near Ras Al Hikmah. So there are lots of new cities there, Amany, Dab'a. It's all connected. Our North Coast is now being constructed. Of course, in the country, we're going to have a better economy when our currency is stabilized, and this is due to the investing.
The foreign direct investment.
Yes, the direct investing.
Right. Allow us, Engineer Amany, to take a short break and then come back and continue here on Business Insider. Please stay with us.